5-minute limit going. Paul Bristow.
Thank you, Mr Davis, and it's a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship in this important debate. And I want to congratulate the Honourable Member for Luton South for securing Luton North for securing this important debate. And for the sake of time, I'm not going to give Honourable Members a history lesson of this part of the world. The central point that I want to make is what happens in Kashmir matters here in the UK. It matters in Peterborough because my home city has a large and vibrant Kashmiri population. And that diaspora have so many friends, so many family members on both sides of the line of control. Whatever community you're from, you can't grow up in Peterborough without being touched by this issue. And if it matters to the large Kashmiri diaspora, surely it matters to British parliamentarians and it matters to the British government. The area is bordered by 3 nuclear powers, and the UK is also has a historical responsibility for this region. But most of all, this is about human rights, about murder, and about torture. The government takes seriously what's going on in China with the Uyghur Muslim population there. The same must apply here. And I stand with the hundreds of millions of Indians across the world who are equally as concerned about human rights abuses in Kashmir. And it certainly can't be in the interests of the Indian government for allegations of human rights abuses to be made repeatedly. Why don't they allow these to be independently investigated? And I know that this was a point that my honourable friend, the member for Wickham, was planning to raise today, but regrettably is self-isolating. Muslims in the UK must feel that atrocities and crimes affecting fellow Muslims across the world is a priority to this government. And what this government have done with the Rohingya and the Uyghurs and persecuted Christians, they must now do for Kashmir. India is a friend of the UK, and friends should be able to talk honestly and openly with one another. So I would urge the Minister to raise with their Indian counterparts the arbitrary detention of Kashmiri political leaders, the 18-month arbitrary enforced lockdown on the Kashmiri people, the ban on access to 4G and the internet in that part of the world, the crackdown on a free and fair media, and these allegations of appalling human rights abuses. Finally, and just briefly, I would just like to counter a narrative I've heard many times before, that the resolution to this dispute is a bilateral approach between both India and Pakistan. On the issue of the Falklands, the UK government asserts that self-determination is a universal right enshrined in the UN Charter and applies in the case of the Falkland Islanders. On Gibraltar, Spain insists on a bilateral agreement with the UK over sovereignty, whereas it's this government that will only discuss sovereignty if the Gibraltarians themselves are included in these discussions. So surely, what is good for the people of the Falkland Islands and what is good for the people of Gibraltar is also good enough for the people of Kashmir.
And we'll keep 5 minutes for Jim Shannon.